I'm in Thailand.
What his name is?
Jonathan, or John for short. John for short.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Jonathan, if you can hear
Yes,
me.
John, this is Claude, who lives in Chiang Mai with his wife. His wife speaks Thai.
Okay.
Sorry, Philippe. I'm making a mistake now. Philippe and
Hi,
his
Philippe.
wife.
What's your wife's name?
Nam.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Nam. Swadikap, Kunan.
Adika. Nice to meet you.
Yes, you too, Philippe.
Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Come. So, John, you are living in Chiang Mai too?
No, I'm living in Sydney.
Okay, yeah.
We're traveling tomorrow. We'll be in Hong Kong and then later in Bangkok. So you might see us from different locations over the next 3 or 4 weeks. In Vietnam also. I did live in Bangkok a long time ago now, for about 7 years.
Great.
Yes, Kun Nam, do you speak English? Oops, hungry?
No.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, yes. Okay.
Not a very little, a lot.
Yeah.
Very
I can tell that.
And you speak French too.
Okay.
Because I am French, actually. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure you recognize my accent.
Yes. Good. Okay, let's check if Ajahn is here. Ajahn, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Swadika, everyone.
Sawadika, Ajahn.
Sawadika.
And I just mentioned Ajahn has already mentioned Philippe. Okay. I just mentioned for other people, Philippe just met Ajahn and Thai friends for the first time yesterday in Chiang Mai. So he's new to the Dhamma and not familiar with Pali terms. So if anyone uses Pali terms, please explain and translate. So we'll keep the language fairly straightforward for him. Okay, and let's start with you, Philippe. So when you when you had some discussion with Ajahn yesterday, Betty, could you mute, please?
Yeah, I just made it louder. I'm doing it on my phone in my car. So coming back.
Yes, but can you mute your microphone, please, Betty? Because
we can hear. Thank you. We can hear all the conversation. Thank you. Okay, so Philippe, yesterday you met Ajahn for the first time and had some discussion. Was there any topic that you found interesting or helpful?
No, actually, we arrived we find out she was in Chiang Mai like 5 minutes. We come just 5 minutes before she stopped the talking. So we could not, we are very unlucky on that actually, but we saw her and we met her a little bit, just respect her, but we could not talk with her. We could not do anything. So we did
when you think about the Buddha's teachings about Buddhism, what is your impression or what is your idea about what the Buddha's teaching is all about, Philippe?
I don't know much actually. I think I know, but actually I don't know. I don't know really much about Dhamma. My wife tried to explain to me, but
yes,
for me it's so far from my thinking, it's so, I've been conditioning like everybody, thinking something, but actually I find out I'm wrong. My thinking is wrong, and I need a lot of explanation. I need a lot of, because I don't know actually about Dhamma. I try to listen about Dhamma, but there's so many teaching, so many different Dhamma teaching, then make me like confused, you know, a little bit. And I just want to, for the moment, I just want to listen your conversation, and you know, I don't have so much question actually.
Well, this
But
is a
I
very
want to
good point.
listen.
This is a good point to start, because often people think they know all about what the Buddha's teaching is, and they
not
may have
really,
grown up in a Buddhist family and they follow various rituals and they go to the temple and they think they know about it. But actually, like you say, we don't know anything because there's a lot of ignorance and very little is understood about what life really is at the moment. So from our point of view, the Buddha's teachings are not about any religion or anything that has to be believed or one has to have faith in or anything that has to be followed, but it's about the understanding of what life is at this very moment, what the truth of life is at the very moment. We are used to thinking that I come here, I do that, I eat my lunch, I meet my friends, I'm happy, I'm sad. We're used to thinking that this is life. Well, we begin to learn that actually life is just in a moment now. So now there are moments of seeing, moments of hearing, and lots of thinking, as you mentioned, mostly thinking about nonsense all day long. So gradually, there can be a little more considering, a little more understanding about what life really is. And at the heart of the teachings, we have to consider whether there are just different phenomena, different mental, physical phenomena arising and falling away, or whether there really is an I, as we're used to thinking, that can control life and decide what to do, where to go, or whether this I that we're so used to thinking about all day is really just a fantasy. So this is why we come closer and closer to considering what life is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we think, I have a wife, I have a husband, I have a home. But isn't it just thinking at this moment? Illusion. What is the wife? What is the home? What is the husband? What is I? Because the seeing now is real. There has to be seeing of what is seen. There has to be hearing of what is heard. But most of the time there is just thinking about what's seen, thinking about what's heard, thinking about this dream or that dream. So we discuss in more and more detail in order to understand what the truth of life is here and now.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah.
So if I say to you, what is heard now, what would you answer? What is heard at this moment?
What is her?
What is heard? Yes, there's hearing and what is heard.
Your voice?
Yes, it certainly seems it's someone's voice, Sarah's voice, your wife's voice, the noise of traffic, the words that are spoken. Actually, it's just sound that is heard. And so quickly we say the sound is Sarah's voice or my wife's voice or Hang's voice, but it's just sound that's heard. And immediately there's thinking about something that's heard. So hearing is one kind of reality that experiences what is heard. The sound is another reality that is heard. And the thinking is a different reality that thinks about the sound, thinks about what is there, thinks about the meaning, thinks about the voice, thinks about what the story is with regard to what is heard.
Mm-hmm.
So we learn that it's not anything just to be followed, but just for the sake of understanding what actually is true now, in order for there to gradually be the letting go of the idea of I hear something and a person that is heard or a car that is heard, but actually just moments of hearing and just sound that is heard. And this is the world at this very moment. Likewise, we think I see a sunrise, I see leaves on the tree, but actually just moments of seeing what is visible, color, and then quickly thinking about the leaves, the person, the sunrise. So we live in a dream world almost all the time. And gradually we can learn to distinguish those realities which experience an object like hearing and seeing, and those realities that don't experience anything, such as the sound that is heard or the color that is seen, different from the hearing and the seeing.
Yeah, it's wow, it's like so far from our thinking, you know. It's so
different, yes. Usually
yeah.
when we wake up after dreaming at night, we know that it was all make-believe and a fantasy. But actually, even now, most of the time, there is
Just
thinking about make-believe, thinking about fantasy, common French word. And but during the day, in between, there are moments of seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching. But most of the time, it's just thinking about different fantasies, different dreams. So usually there's no considering at all about the truth is, because we're just lost in that dream, in that fantasy. Let me see if Jonathan or Jan would like to add more.
Okay.
Ajahn? So I'll just add a couple of words to what Sarah has said. As there are experiences through the different sense doors all day, seeing and hearing, smelling, tasting, and experiencing through the body sense. For example, you are now sitting on something, and you are now sitting down on something. There will be the experiencing of hardness or softness at the point of contact between your body and the chair. But these sense door experiences are each followed by many, many moments of thinking about the sense door experience. And immediately, if there's hardness being experienced through the body sense, for example, we think that, oh, this chair is hard. It's not a chair that's hard. It's the body sense experiencing a moment of hardness. And as Sarah explained, when seeing experiences visible object or hearing experiences sound, the moment of actual hearing doesn't know anything about the details of the sound that is experienced. It's the thinking process that follows in the sense door moments that identifies the sound as a person speaking or a car or whatever. And what we are learning is the truth about the present moment realities. And we come to learn that these sense door experiences occur one at a time. So there cannot be seeing and a moment of seeing consciousness and a moment of hearing consciousness at exactly the same moment. But they may be appearing at different moments, but intermingled so rapidly with each other that it seems like they are simultaneous and continuous. this is the idea that we have of the world, a world of continuous experiencing through the different sense doors, and a world of continuous or continuing objects. But the Buddha explained that these moments of experiencing are all momentary, but arising and falling away so rapidly that the momentariness is not known. And that's why it appears continuous and simultaneous. Now, these teachings of the Buddha cannot be confirmed, verified immediately, but are for us to consider and see if they are are in line with our experience in the world. But we've never considered that they might be momentary, but we can give some thought to that and see if it might be the case. So everything that you hear today is just for consideration, and not to be embraced or rejected, either one or the other. The Buddha didn't teach his followers to believe what he said, but to listen carefully and consider it in the light of their own experience in life. And that's and that still applies today for anyone who's interested in understanding better the reality of the present moment. And that means the reality of life itself.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Perhaps Ajahn would like to add a few words now.
Very simple question. Is there life?
That's a question for you, Philippe. Is there life?
Sorry, Ajahn, I did not understand the question. Sorry.
Is there life now or anytime?
Is there life now? What does it mean? I don't understand.
No life? Or there is life?
I don't understand the real meaning. If there is life now, you mean?
Yes.
I don't know. It's so confusing for me now. It's like I feel I'm alive, but
So if you're alive, right? Just then you said about your life, right?
You think you are alive, Philippe. So if you think you are alive,
yeah.
is there life at this very moment? Because if there was no life, could there be thinking, I am alive? Is there life now?
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
What doesn't have life?
Death? No. When you're not alive, death? I don't know. I don't know. That's mean.
Is there life or no life at all?
Yeah, it's confusing. There is life. Yeah, sure, it's life now.
Okay, what is it? What is it? Life.
What is it, life?
Yes.
Oh, that's a very deep question. What is? I'm lost now.
Is there seeing right now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I see now. Yeah, I can.
Can we say that life is seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, any
Yeah.
time in a day, in a moment? It's life and it experiences an object. Without that which experiences anything, is it life or no life? Not life at all. Just one word, life or living being. Is it real? Is it there now? What is taken for life? Is there nothing to be life, or life is there right now? Not
Yeah,
there.
it's life now. Yeah.
So,
Mm.
what is life? Can we say just from moment to moment? In a moment only, what is there that is life?
Yeah, it's a. I don't know.
What does,
So
what doesn't have life?
now, life it's now. I mean, here and now. I think. Yeah, it's what window. Mm. It's really.
Life begins at moment of birth. Is that right?
Yes, try. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But who knows about the truth of life? What is it at all? Without that which can experience anything, can there be life?
I'm so sorry, and
What about your life? Life, anyone's life? Is it real or it's not real? Is life
I
real?
don't know. For me, it's real, but I must be wrong.
If nothing born at all, can that be living body or living person or living reality? So life is a moment of experiencing an object from birth. It begins experiencing what is there at moment of hearing, born to see, born to hear, born to like, born to think, born to be pain, right?
Yeah.
So that is life, that which experiences an object. No one there at all. It's just a moment of a reality, no name as Sujin or Sarah or Jonathan, but it's there, experience an object through one of the six doorways. Now, seeing, the dead one cannot see, hearing, the dead one cannot hear. So at moment of hearing, it's moment of experiencing an object, and we take it or call it life. So can there be life without experiencing anything at all?
No, cannot.
That's why beginning to understand each word from birth that we used to take it, speak about it. But is there any understanding that absolute or the ultimate truth of what is there even right now? That's why there are two kinds of reality. One cannot understand the truth even it's there now, and the other understand the truth, the nature of that which is there when it's appearing, when it appears. See, right now, the moment of seeing, is for those who are not dead yet, right? So
Mhm.
only that which experiences any moment is life. Can there be life? Our seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, remembering, and so on, whatever in the day, is moment of experiencing an object. So that which arises to experience an object cannot be anyone at all because it's conditioned to arise and experience an object and then gone instantly. There is no more hearing when it's gone. Just a moment ago, there was seeing and hearing, but now not the same moment, not the same one. So learn to understand what life is. Otherwise, there is always the idea, I am seeing, I am hearing, but actually in truth, no one there. But that which arises to experience is there. And ignorance of not understanding that naturally take it for I or someone or something from birth to death, not understanding the ultimate truth of this very moment as no one. It's just that which arises and experience an object. Is that true? That's why whatever is real, it has its characteristic to appear to be known. So that they are all dhammas. Whatever is real is dhamma. And when it's real, it's seen or heard, it's there and then gone instantly. So life is not permanent, only a moment of experiencing an object. So no one there at all. Can anyone make seeing arise or hearing to arise? None at all. Because now we are talking about seeing and hearing, but seeing is there all the time. But seeing is not hearing, it's not thinking. So whatever experiences an object is part of life. So life goes on from moment to moment, from birth up to now, and on to the moment of death, and so on. And I begin again, arise again, by conditions, the same as now. After birth, there is seeing, hearing, smelling, on and on, non-stop, by conditions. Is that true? So we now learn to understand what life is. It's a reality that experiences an object. Is it real now? There is seeing, no one there at all. If seeing does not arise, how can there be something seen like now? So begin to understand the truth of life, which hasn't been known before, the truth of it. Each moment, nothing can last. Seeing sees and then gone. Hearing hears and then gone. Everything in very split seconds, very short. So very short. So no one can not understand the truth when there's no thought, no considering of what is there as it is. That which is seen is not life, but it's that which experiences known it as something appearing now. What is there now appearing? If there's no reality which arises and experiences it, it cannot be seen. So seeing is just a reality arising to experience that which just impinges on the eye base. But when it's moment of hearing, it's not that which impinges on the eye base, but it's that which impinges on the ear base. See, each moment is conditioned to arise and fall away. That's why some time or someone has short life and some has long life and so on. Unpredictable. And it's true. That's why life is so short and shorter than anyone can expect. Just arise and fall away by conditions. Seeing cannot stay, it cannot last, it's gone. Hearing just arise to hear and then gone. Thinking, feeling, pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling, or that which experiences an object. So we can understand a little more of what life is now and anytime. It's moment of experiencing an object which is not permanent. That's all. Life is so short, shorter than we think, because we think about short life and long life. But in truth, momentary death, never to return in samsara at all. Just once in samsara of this moment, see, hear, smell, taste, touch. That's all. And then everything gone. But there is a reality which arises to remember what is experienced at each moment of experiencing any object, even right now. That's why there are so many different realities conditioned to be live on and on, non-stop, as long as there are conditions for life to begin again, end again, begin again, end again. Is that true? So we just learn to understand the truth of life. There is no one, but there are different realities conditioned by its proper condition at a time and then gone. Without attachment, aversion, can there be life? So life is that which experiences an object, no matter what object is there, appearing. Life is there at moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, each moment, non-stop. So it's not me or I or anyone. It's just life. No one can make anything arise at all in life or by condition. No one would like to experience the unpleasant object, but it's there by conditions. That's why we learn to understand the conditions for whatever arises, not just one condition at all. Even seeing now sees without the eyes, base or eye sense. There cannot be seeing. No one can make it arise, but when it's there, what is that which impinges on it? It conditions seeing to see it, which is there impinge on the eye base, and then gone all day, every moment, not permanent at all. So we call it temporarily death, never to arise again. And is that true in each life, all lives? The same. Without that which arises to experience an object, no life at all. So it's not me or mine life, or his or her life. It's just moment of experiencing an object by conditions. And there are so many conditions for whatever arises and then gone instantly. Is that true? Just begin to understand the depth of the truth of what is there, which is not known, if there is no thought about it at all. No attention, no interest to understand what is there now as it is. No understanding of the truth. Because the truth is the truth of that which is there. So true to be known. The truth of it is that it cannot stay long. Then when it arises, it's gone instantly. It cannot be longer than that. But it's not known. So very rapidly. That's why what is seen or other at once when one opens one's eyes, but just close one's eyes. Where are they? Nothing there at all. Just in that very moment when one closes one's eyes. This is so true that nobody can change the way it is. And whatever is real, so many things, just only once in lifetime. So all are dhammas, whatever is there. So clear, it has its own characteristic and its own function. Not anyone. It's life. So very short. No one at all, because it's gone completely, absolutely. Ultimately, no one can make it arise again. Is it true? Yesterday, or just a moment ago? Where are they? Where were they? Not now at all. Gone forever, never to arise again. So one can be this person only in this life. Before this person, it's not this person. After this person, after death, it cannot be the one who's dead at all. No more the end. The body is just like the paper or the log. It's only hard and decay. Before that, it's my leg, it's my arm, it's my eye. But when life ends, death is there, never to be that person again at all. In the whole life, in samsara, so whatever is there is only once, never to arise again. So learn to understand the truth, to let go ignorance and clinging to what is there as I or someone or my friend. Actually, only the happenings of that which experience the object and then gone. But it's so very rapidly thinking about moment of seeing, a moment of seeing. It cannot see what is now appearing at once. Just that which impinges on the eye base can be seen and then gone so rapidly. So what is that? It's just the mark or the nimitta, the sign of that which is there, as seeing or as something after seeing taken for this or flower or whatever. Is that true? So just learn to understand the truth, to let go ignorance, thinking that one will live so long. But who knows? Just 2 moments, the moment of death, just rise and falls away, followed by moment of birth instantly. New life, new being. What were there before couldn't be known or remembered at all. Even what is there in life when we were young or when we were born, no one can know it at all because it's gone. And the other moment just condition the idea of different moment all the time, from moment to moment. No time to think about that, which is not there anymore. Even just a moment ago, completely gone. Can anyone go back? Can anyone make it arise again, come back, appear again? Impossible. That's why no expectation. What would be experienced next moment after this moment? Beyond expectation. That's why all dhammas are anatta. No one. So it's thinking. Whatever is there can be known as it's just that particular reality, which is there already. Usually people think about the future, what I'll do tomorrow, or someone would say what I'll meditate and so on. But what is there already is not known. Just think about wanting or making something to arise to be known. So never understand the truth of what is there right now, from moment to moment. Is this true? See, the truth is not just to remember or to try to think in other way, but it's there, its own way. It's conditioned. People have different idea by conditions, different like or dislike by conditions. Life goes on from birth by condition to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, to touch, to experience what is there through mind and gone instantly, never to return. And this is now. This moment is not just a moment ago, right? And no one thought about it. So there is clinging to that which is completely gone as something all the time. But the ultimate truth is that what is there is just in so very short moment and never to return. So it's object of clinging when there's no right understanding that it's not there anymore. So there's clinging all the time to what which appears or has happened before. Just cling today to that experience or events or happenings. So no understanding of the truth. And what is true, so many different ones from moment to moment. That's why there is the word Dhamma for whatever is real, no matter it's like or dislike or remember or feeling, all are Dhammas. It's so real when it's there. So all Dhammas are anatta, no one, not anyone at all. Seeing, it cannot hear. Thinking is thinking, it cannot see. See, all conditioned in the moment, from moment to moment, right now. So in order to understand the truth, no need to go anywhere to find it out. But it's there right now, but no understanding. So understanding is different from misunderstanding or no understanding, right? It understands the truth. Seeing is so true. Is there any understanding of seeing that is conditioned to arise? Without the eyes, without that which impinge on the eye, can there be seeing? What is at the back cannot be seen because it doesn't impinge on the eyelids. In split seconds, it's just like a dot on the paper. Many dots. Only one dot cannot be a pig or a fish or a tree or a flower. But so many that so rapidly condition the idea, remembering the shape and form, and make it known by shape and form and color as something there, I or things. But in truth, what is seen? So true. Can it be a flower without any moment, a dot, to condition the shape and form to be known as this or that? So the truth is so very, very subtle and it's hidden from moment to moment. So ignorance is there in that, not understand anything, but learn to understand the truth, the ultimate truth. Seeing is a reality. It's a Dhamma. It's real. It arises to see. No one can stop when it's there to arise at all. It has a reason and cause. And there is clinging to that which seems permanent. No one can experience the subtlety of that which is there so very short. But learn to understand what is there in a moment, not just seeing. The conditions for seeing to arise is there too. Learn to understand the truth little by little, to understand what is that in life from birth to death, again and again and again, never be the same. By conditions. And this is Dhamma, the nation, the truth of what is there as a reality because it has its characteristic to be known. Sound is real because it's heard. We don't have to use the word sound or hearing. But the truth is that hearing is that which arises to hear, or we can say to experience sound, the chief of experience sound, as it is different ones, never the same sound. So never the same moment of hearing. Only one moment arises and experience an object, but there are conditions for whatever arises, no matter what is seen or that which sees. Learn to understand life as it is, not permanent, and its conditioned by different conditions unexpectedly, but learn to understand the truth so very deep, and it can be learned little by little to let go ignorance from life years and years ago, not understand even just a moment, seeing a moment of hearing is there, not knowing. So it's time to see the benefit of the precious moment of begin to understand the truth which is hidden years and years ago, to be known little by little. At moment when right understanding is that it let go of the ignorance and clinging to that which is not there anymore. So there are many words of truth that we can begin to study and to understand the truth the way it is. Like birth, what is it? Or death, what is it? Or seeing, what is it? Hearing, what is it? Thinking, what is it? Now that can be the answer, right?
Mm.
What is it? A Dhamma, each one is real. So Dhamma is that which is real. So seeing is Dhamma, hearing is Dhamma, feeling is Dhamma, all are Dhammas. And the enlightened one said, all Dhammas are anatta, not atta, not anyone or anything at all. It's only that which is there as it is. Hardness is not my leg, it's not my hair, it's hard from head to toe. So learn about life in truth, little by little, from the enlightened one who taught everything of truth to be realized until it can be directly experienced. Because now, before seeing, there's no seeing. And after seeing, there's no seeing. That can be realized because it's so true. But it's not by will or by intention or by desire or by ignorance. It has to be understood because a reality begin to study, to learn about the truth, to believe what is there as it is, little by little. Sound is sound, but different sounds appearing one after the other. So it's the sound of piano or the sound of flute, but in truth, no more when it's not there. When it's not there, no more. Even while it's there, it arises and falls away. But that arising and falling away, that moment is not known yet because there are so many different realities arise together. Like now, see? At moment of hearing, they're seeing. And who knows, thinking and liking and feeling and memory, different ones. That's why the arising and falling away is so very rapidly. That's why no time to understand it without hearing about the truth that it's there. So it can be realized, but not with attachment or desire or ignorance. Only right understanding, begin to understand a reality at a time, not all together. Because when they are all together, how can it be known so well as it is? Only when it's that just one can be known of the truth of it. That's why there are many stages of understanding the truth that Buddha taught, because he had enlightened. That's why the teaching has to be 3 stages of understanding. Without hearing, considering, there can never be understanding directly of that which is now appearing. Seeing is not that which is seen. No one. Different reality. Closer and closer until it's so close. The world is now here. Without seeing now so close, hearing now so close, or are they so close? How can there be the idea of the sun, the moon, the sky, people and things around? And beginning to understand and understand the truth, not just believe without any understanding. It's useless to believe, no understanding. But understanding itself, condition, right understanding of the truth, never change at all. If someone would say, I can make this right, never at all. Never and never. Impossible. Who can make whatever arise? It's there already and it's God already. See? While one is thinking that I'm making something, and we think about that which will be made by our will. But what is the will there to make it? It's there and gone, unknown. So listen carefully and understand very, very subtle reality. It's always there, unknown, because it's so very subtle. And this is the beginning to understand the truth of what is there, whether it's true or not, as we have heard. Seeing is there. What is seen is there. No understanding of what seeing is or what that which is seen is. So that is wrong understanding, taking it for nimitta, the shape and form of that which arises and falls away in split seconds, make known as something by shape and form, which is nimitta of that which is now appearing. Nimitta of a door, nimitta of the window, nimitta of the cloth or the cupboard, see? But without just one moment, one particle, so very small particle, how can it be a table? Or I see, seeing is seeing, but there is wrong understanding because there's no one. So at moment of experiencing an object, no one there, so it's I see. And Buddha taught for 45 years in details about everything to be realized, to have confidence of the truth, that no one can change it, but it can be realized by right understanding only, developed to the degree that it can let go wrong idea of something there into understanding the truth that it's not anything, but it's there by conditions right now. So what are they now? Learn to understand the truth little by little. And when there is understanding, there can be the understanding of ignorance. See, at moment of no understanding of what? Of that which is now appearing. No understanding of seeing. No understanding of hearing. No understanding of thinking. No understanding of feeling. There is feeling unknown. So it's I feel again and again and again. So we learn to understand the teaching of the Buddha about the truth, just about one reality at a time. So now, no doubt about the word Dhamma represents anything which is real. What is real has its characteristic to be known, but it's different, like the sound and the smell. See, with our word, it's the sound, it's the smell, but with our word, who knows what we are talking about? So we use the word to represent reality, which no matter we change the word or not understand the word, but it's there as it is, depending on who understand it or not, or just take it for something or I or people and things all the time, because not understanding the truth. So when we talk about ignorance, no understanding, it has to be a little more precise. No understanding of what? Of that which is now there as it is. What is seen is taken for something, someone. But in truth, it's just only that which is seen. And they are there by conditions, even they are not seen or experienced. Like what we think about the tree in the forest, when it's not seen, we think that it's there. But life is just in a moment only. As long as there is the idea of a tree, no understanding of the truth of Dhamma, reality, just one reality arising together, conditions such shape and form to be known, to be taken for an ant or an elephant. Just that which is seen, the world of sight, the world of thought, the world of ignorance, the world of attachment. Buddha taught in details about each reality. All dhammas are anatta, no one, nothing at all. Seeing cannot be I see, it's gone. Before seeing, there's no seeing. And where's the I before seeing? It's there unknown all the time in life. That's why in order to understand the truth, which is so very subtle, just one word at a time, Dhamma, no doubt about it. Seeing is a Dhamma, hardness is a Dhamma, thinking is a Dhamma, liking is a Dhamma. So all are Dhammas in life, years and years ago, what are that in each moment is Dhamma. So we learn about Dhamma at a time to have more confidence of the truth that it is Dhamma. It cannot be anything else. And it's there only when it's conditioned to arise, just to arise, and then fall away instantly. There can be understanding a little more as it heard on and on and on about the truth of this moment.
It's boiling now. It's boiling, but thank you so much for your time to explain to me. I'm very grateful, and I will do everything to understand for sure.
Because among all conditioned realities arising and falling away, right understanding is the best. It can understand more and more and more until the sharp developed understanding so strong enough to experience the truth, because the truth is what we have heard. Otherwise, it's useless. Just talk about it, but it cannot be known. But since it can be known, but not by ignorance, it has to be known little by little of its truth by understanding. Our reality is that which understands no one. And that moment when it's not understanding, it's real. No one, no I, is there as Dhamma. So, firm confidence of Dhamma. If someone say that that is not Dhamma, so what is it?
So in brief, Philippe, we're learning to distinguish what is true, what is real, what is Dhamma, such as seeing now, hearing now, thinking, touching, hardness that is touched, as opposed to that which is just imagined, computer, phone, person, picture. And what is real arises by different conditions and falls away instantly. Usually we go through life with the idea that I can control, I can change, I can make decisions, I can understand. But we learn that actually these different dhammas, these different realities arise by their particular conditions and fall away instantly. So if there are conditions for hearing, hearing arises. If sound impinges on ear sense, hearing can arise and experience the sound. But if there are no conditions for hearing, no hearing at this moment, I cannot make the hearing arise. I cannot stop the hearing from falling away. I cannot decide what to think about. I cannot understand. So learning about the different dhammas is the way to understand there is no I to be found, no control, even with regard to this very moment. No one can stop attachment arising. No one can stop confusion and doubt arising. No one chooses to be confused, but if there are conditions for confusion, there is confusion. So the point is that gradually, when understanding develops, there is more and more letting go of the idea of I can do something, I can change something, I can control life. Because actually what has arisen, like the seeing or the bodily experiencing, it's gone instantly. No one can make it anything different. So it's actually, as I was discussing with a friend this morning, it's like the letting go of a big burden, the big burden of I must do, I can change, I can control. So it's all an illusion. So the understanding is accepting what is conditioned. Yes,
that's
go ahead.
something I'm sure. I don't control anything. That is
Right.
That I can feel that I don't control what's happening in my life. That is for sure. Yeah.
When we just think about different fantasies and different ideas, going to the shop or the restaurant and choosing which restaurant, it seems there is an imaginary I that makes these decisions. But when we come to the meaning of life at this moment, thinking now, thinking about restaurant A or thinking about restaurant B, each moment of thinking is conditioned, not I that can choose to think this way or that way. Each moment of hearing is conditioned. So it's a relief, letting
Yeah.
go of the idea that I should do something, I can follow a practice, or I should focus on an object. It's not the way that the Buddha taught, which is just about the natural development of understanding of the truth now. But as you'll have heard, it's quite deep and quite subtle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the
Thank you.
the object to be understood in the Buddha's teaching is just what is appearing now at the present moment. So it's not a matter of thinking one's way to the truth of things and thinking deeply about this and that. The beginning of the development of understanding is just understanding something about the truth of what is appearing at the present moment. And the Buddha's teaching is largely a description of the reality of the present moment. So we don't have to start understanding about the law of karma, for example, or dependent origination, or some of the more advanced aspects of the teachings, because it all begins with what is here and now at the present moment to be understood. And we have a perception of the world at the present moment based on our accumulated views and tendencies, in common with most people. And the Buddha taught that that general perception of the world is not the way things are in truth. So it's by considering his description of the present moment that one can come gradually, little by little, to see that the underlying reality of the present moment has not yet been understood. It is there to be understood, but there's no real understanding of it at the present moment. And that's why we talk so much about the present moments of seeing and hearing, because they are an example of the all kinds of moments of consciousness that precede and follow, and they can be better understood.
Thank you so much.
And usually we think life is very wonderful, and there's a lot of attachment to what is so beautiful and good, and the food that tastes so delicious, and the good friends around. But by beginning to appreciate that actually life is just a moment of experiencing now, seeing now, hearing now, just for a moment and then gone. So the clinging, the attachment is to actually what is already gone. The sound is gone, the taste is gone, the visible object is gone. It's clinging to the dream about what is already gone. And we learn that that which arises and is gone instantly is actually not satisfactory, not so wonderful. It's actually unsatisfactory, dukkha, because it's gone. Sure. So in the deepest sense, whatever arises and falls away is unsatisfactory, dukkha. So it's only by understanding a little more about the truth of what life is now that the understanding can reveal that the truth is that there are just these different dhammas arising and falling away that are the object of clinging from when we wake up to when we go to sleep all day long, clinging to what is actually nothing. It's like clinging to the wind that's already blown past all day.
Sure.
But
I think
that
bring you happiness, because yesterday when we were in this place where was everybody was looking happy, And I think this is the real happiness, that
Yes.
brings you.
Yes, it's understanding things better can be a
Yes.
cause for less worry and anxiety in
Yeah.
life, but that's actually not the main thing, because there's bound to be unhappiness, and
Yes.
understanding the reality better doesn't suddenly mean that all one's anger and attachment are reduced. I think
Yes.
for a lot of people, the Buddha's teaching is about having more wholesome moments of consciousness and fewer unwholesome moments. But that is not really his message at all. His message, although he encourages the development of wholesomeness and the abandoning of unwholesomeness, that is achieved eventually by a deeper understanding of the true nature of the present moment, because one comes to see life as just a series of momentary moments of consciousness that have no lasting presence, are not intrinsically worthwhile, and are conditioned. They happen by conditions, not by virtue of the exercise of our will. And for this reason, the understanding develops, and the unwholesome tendencies can be reduced as a side effect to the development of understanding. So
Right.
It's a different emphasis from how it's generally perceived. Less emphasis on being a better person, having more wholesomeness, being a more giving and loving person, and more emphasis on just understanding things, which doesn't necessarily reflect in any dramatic change to one's personality or nature in the first place.
Yeah. Thank you. Understand. Thank you so much, everyone.
Would anyone else like to make any comment or ask any question today?
We'll give Philippe and Nan a break for a moment.
Did you wish to add anything? Any point from the discussion yesterday, or anything
For today,
of
for me,
interest?
for today, it's a lot already. But I will be following you anyway. I will be here each time you will do, and
Good.
like John said, try to understand more and more. And
Yes.
yeah.
In the notes, I will also put the link to our internet discussion group, and then I always put up the schedule every Friday. So I'll just put it in the notes in a few moments. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yotika, do you have anything you would like to bring up today?
There's so much happiness feeling, and sadhu, sadhu, sadhu for this whole explanation and the summary. It's overwhelming at the moment.
Seem to recall you were overwhelmed last time, your ticket.
I don't know. It's just, it is so beautiful.
And does it make sense for you?
It makes sense. I don't know how. If I
Well, it
think
gives one
and think
something to
about,
consider, right?
yes, yes, but it is like fitting, like true.
but the truth has to be realized.
It's very
Not-
calming. I don't know.
Any particular parts of what Ajahn said that you would like to discuss a little bit further?
No, it's going on and on with this no self there, no one there, no one there. Just, what is it? Just realities? Or my question was, what is reality when I came in? What is reality? But I had an idea that I still remember that it is seeing and hearing.
Yes, and this is where it all starts. We don't start
That's
with
the-
no one there. That is the conclusion from the understanding of the different realities as they are. So we need to start from the beginning. What is appearing at the present moment? What is the reality of that?
Yeah.
Because if we start with a denial of no one there, that can be bewildering because it may run so contrary to how we see things at the present moment. And it's not as though we have to suddenly give up our accustomed way of thinking about things, but just to consider the possibility that the present moment reality is like this and like that.
It's still a mystery. But
But what is there now isn't a
true.
mystery, is it? Doesn't have to be a mystery. Is there thinking now? Is
Yeah,
it
there's
thinking? Is it thinking that is controlled, or does it just happen by its own conditions?
It happened by its own conditions, I think. I
Right.
think
And is seeing now controlled, or does it happen by conditions?
it all happens by conditions.
Right. And thinking about what is seen and heard happens by conditions. That's the starting point, because that in itself is so different from how we understood the world before we heard the Dhamma, the Buddha's teaching.
It's true. But it is also floating away and coming back and being
Sorry,
clear.
what is floating away and coming back?
Is what we just discussed.
Yes.
Just
But
being there, being not there. Yeah.
when we say that the seeing now happens by conditions, not by exercise of our will, isn't that true for all moments of seeing that we could think about?
I think so. Yeah.
Right. And it's the same with the hearing, isn't it? It just happens by conditions. Hearing cannot be switched on and off at will. Seeing cannot be switched on and off at will.
No, I'm absent. No. I do not follow it for a moment.
I think the thing is to consider aspects that are that we can grasp, and not to consider those aspects that are beyond our comprehension at the present moment.
But who knows?
Well, that requires some level of understanding, but we are adult enough to be frank about that. It's only the one who wants quick results that thinks about what is a long way down the line. Are we studying the Dhamma to become enlightened, or are we studying the Dhamma because it explains the truth about the present moment, which interests us?
The last one, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
So we have to keep our feet on the ground about this.
But enlightenment is maybe following.
Well, how far away?
Far away.
Yes, beyond even imagination.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about what it's like to be enlightened.
No.
No.
It will come. If it comes, it will come.
So is there anything overwhelming about what is appearing at the present moment?
I don't know if
The
overwhelming.
true nature of it?
I'm not sure if overwhelming is the specific word for the experience, but it feels like.
And what's the reality of that experience then? Pleasant feeling, or mixture of pleasant feeling and unpleasant feeling? Can't quite be pinpointed.
More than pleasant, happy feeling. Really.
Yes. And does happy feeling happen by conditions, or is it something that can be conjured up, begun and stopped?
It's just there for a while.
Right.
I think.
And we don't have to ask the question why. It just happens.
But I think it had to do with the Dhamma talk.
Yes.
With the Dhamma understanding.
Well, it may be understanding, or it may just be I won't say the novelty, but that it's so different from what one used to think.
Maybe.
But in any event, as we know, whatever the feeling, whether it's strong happiness or strong aversion, the feeling has the same characteristic.
Coming and going.
When I say aversion, I should have said happy feeling or unpleasant feeling. If it's feeling, it has the same characteristic. The same essence is to feel. And the pleasant or unpleasant is the detail.
I think everything you have been saying, Yotika, shows that the point that no one there controlling anything, no one chooses to be overwhelmed, no one chooses to think about having their head bursting like Philippe, no one chooses to have moments of unhappy feeling. So whatever arises in life now or at any moment, it's just by conditions, not by anyone's choice, not by anyone's expectations. So no one can stop it, no one can change it. Life is just as it is at this very moment, but understanding can gradually develop to appreciate deeper and deeper that there are just these dhammas arising and falling away, no one there to be found.
Yes.
And it is a relief. It is a condition for happy feeling, nothing to be done. The understanding can just work its way.
Yes.
So thank you, Yotika, for that.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you.
And there are just yes, and there are just a few minutes left if Ajahn would like to add anything.
Never enough hearing, considering, understanding the truth, because it has to be moment of beginning to understand the truth, but it's right there now, not at the moment at all. But it's so very, very difficult, very, very subtle, because it used to be taken for something all the time, unknowingly. For example, when we wake up, see, from then on, something, someone all the time. But learning to understand that actually it's just a moment of that which appears and then gone. It takes quite a long, long time to develop from hearing and considering each word, even the word Dhamma, just one word. Is it enough to understand the truth that it is Dhamma, not anyone? Because Dhamma is just the word for that which is real, so very rapidly gone. So how can it be known? It takes quite a long time to consider whether it's so true. It cannot be changed. It's there, conditioned to arise and then gone, unknown, until it can be known, just one reality at a time, but not by intention, just by hearing again and again. When there is doubt, why I cannot understand that. It takes quite a long, long time to be aware or to think about it, because that is the way it is. Because the wrong understanding, ignorance has been accumulated quite so long, years and years ago. So even now, our reality is not known as it's just that which is real. It takes quite a long time. And when now it cannot be known, right understand that, because not enough condition, not enough understanding, not enough considering, not enough time to hear again and again and again, never enough at all. That's why the most precious moment is moment of understanding. Each word of truth, to hear it again and again and again until it's so firm and rooted at any time in life. Begin to understand, not as something, but the truth of it as it's just happening. It's just seeing, it's just hearing. That's why the path is so very, very deep and so very, very subtle, because it has to be by conditions, anatta, all the way. Even right now, anatta is there. What is seen is not by will or intention, because it's there already. But learn to understand from hearing about the truth what is there at moment of seeing. That is memory too. And memory is a reality which is not that which experiences the object as the chief. Not anything else has been done at all. Only that which is conditioned to arise to be the chief of experiencing. So now begin to understand different dhammas as it is, little by little, because so many realities, because one is one and one is gone, never to arise again. Even seeing, the object which is seen is not the same. See, no understanding of the truth of that which is seen as just that which impinges on the eyebase. No understanding of seeing enough to know that it's a moment of experiencing what is there as that which is seen only. See, so hear it again and understand why it cannot be known or directly realized yet, because not enough understanding yet. That's why the condition for realizing the truth is the development of understanding of whatever is there unexpectedly, not at will, but by conditions. By conditions make it more subtle and more difficult, because one used to think that I will do, or I can do, or I intend to do. But in truth, what we take for intention or like or dislike or desire attachment are different dhammas. Learn to understand dhammas as different dhammas, one by one, to understand what is there in life in a moment. There are many realities unknown, and it can be known when it's a little more understanding, wisely, truthfully, be true to the truth of what is there as it is. For example, Dhamma, see, from now on, Dhamma is anatta. It's there by conditions. Little by little, it can condition firmer understanding of the truth, to be parami, to realize the truth when the condition is ready and enough to understand what is there that we have heard. So gradually, little by little, that's the way it is, or Dhammata in Pali. Dhamma is Dhamma, reality. That is the way of Dhamma. No one can change the way of truth. Is that right? Only that, see, it's right. And when there is more hearing, it's right. Again and again, little by little. So now, appreciate everyone at moment of understanding the truth. สวัสดีค่ะ